Voice Radio.
Believe it.
Hi, you're listening to Care Voice Radio. This is Aubrey with Straight Talk and Motivation coming your way live. This is actually our first podcast, and I'm happy to have three awesome people in front of me tonight. Two of them, actually. They're going to be talking about building the kingdom through better business. And I have with me in the studio Dawn Lovell, who's a customer service consultant, and Daidre Leacock, who's a financial consultant. February the 25th, dear folks, between 9 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., they are going to be having a fantastic seminar in the island of Barbados. You'll have the questions and they'll have the answers. They're going to ask you questions. Who are you? What is your why? What is your relationship with money? How do I market my product or service? And what is the heart of customer service? Very important questions in this time of chaos. A lot of stuff's going on. And these young ladies, and we also have Mr. Troy Holder. You all are familiar with him from Marketing Consultant. And we're going to ask these folks a few questions about what's going on with this program that they have coming up. Who's going to take the ball? Daidre and Dawn, Voice Motivation Show. Oh,
thanks.
They're very shy for the moment. They're keeping their voice for the actual event. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this this seminar that's coming up on the 25th of February at the Barbados Employers Confederation on Graham Court in Dayton Road, Britons Hill, St. Michael, Barbados. What is the inspiration behind this workshop, this seminar?
Okay, well, actually, not of having this shop. Actually, I had this great vision in my head a couple of years ago, and it was really small businesses, because I realized that many of the small businesses on the island, small Black businesses, you would have persons that they had lots of raw talent, they had great ideas, but somehow the businesses were not making it, they were not surviving. And this vision was birthed really out of that, the desire to see business not only be established, but to be sustainable and viable, and to make those businesses successful. And I realized that many of the some young persons, some older, but many of them were Black businesses. And I realized that a lot of people did not have the tools that were necessary for them to build a successful business. They were falling down in areas of finances, in that they were not budgeting well. They were using the business for money for personal reasons, things like that. In some cases, they didn't know how to market their business. And then they had some customer service issues. The service that they were giving was lacking in some areas. So that's really how this was birthed. And I just thought about it one day, and I was like, you know what? Why not have a seminar? Why not have a workshop? Why not give these people the tools that's necessary for them to survive in this competitive business world?
So this sounds like a very initiative. Daidre, tell us about some of the basic information that people receive when they come to this seminar.
As Dawn was saying, it's threefold: marketing, customer service, and finance. Each equally has its important role to play in business. From the area of finance, which I will be presenting on, we found that from experience, sometimes people go to businesses and they're not being successful, and especially Christian businesses are. If God is a God of excellence and we're working towards the standard of God, there has to be something missing, that we're not correlating between what the word says about finances and what goes into our business. And I think the heart of it really is lack of discipline. And from my standpoint and in my experience, what happens is people take their personal attitude and mindset towards money into business. And if that mindset and is not trained and owned in a way that you can function well, your business then functions how you function as a person. So from that standpoint, it was like, no, there has to be more that we can do about this. And that's my heart, that's my passion, to teach people and give people tools to better manage themselves, and as a result, let that transfer into their business.
Okay, this sounds like a lot of good empowerment information that's coming in this event. So tell us a little bit about the questions that you're asking in terms of what should the person expect, some basic answers from, for example, for you, the first product? You said that people bring who they are into, and this question goes to either one of you. People bring their behavior, their ideas, their thinking, their mindset into their business. Explain a little bit more about that for me.
Well, I guess I'll jump in here, Aubrey. I think what you said just now is exactly right. People bring their ideas, their behaviors, are into their business. And it's important to know and to understand who you are. As being an entrepreneur, it takes a lot. It takes guts, it takes discipline, it takes commitment, it takes all of those, consistency. And it's necessary for you to evaluate yourself firstly before you decide to jump into business, because many people just have an idea, or many people just want to make money or some extra income. It's usually out of a need. And, they just decide, okay, I'm going to go into business. But it's really evaluate yourself and be able to see if you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And if you don't, then to build those attributes that are necessary for being in business, because it's not an easy task. It's something that is, it takes you being committed. It takes you going the extra mile. It takes you sometimes away from your family. It takes you burning the midnight oil. So it's important for us first to identify the persons that are actually interested in going into business, for them to look at themselves if this is something that they really want to go into.
So their why must be stronger than the money, you mean? The reason for doing the business?
Definitely.
I'll jump in there, because if money is your only motivator to start a business because you want to make money, when things become hard, the company's not making as much money as you want, you will quit. And we don't just want people to be opening businesses and closing them. The failure rate for startups, as I was reading, is 98%. For some startups. Yes. You don't want that. You want that there is a continuity, that your business has a going concern. And accounting essentially going concern means your company will have a long life. You don't want to open a company, invest in a company, and then in 2 to 3 years, there's nothing. The next thing about that is that we found, especially in the Black community, we always seem to have to start from the beginning. Other cultures teach your children about business, especially if their own businesses, so that at the end of their time, their business can be transferred to their children, and they understand how to manage the business so that that grows and it stays and continues to generation. We tend not to have that, and that ought not to be so. For us, every generation starts beginning. There's nothing left to build on, and the Bible speaks essentially of the grandparents leaving inheritance for the children. That doesn't happen. So we want to empower people to not just, when they think about business, just not for themselves, but who comes after me as well, that I can pass on something to them and I can legacy. This is about building legacy as well, and not just having duration of business and it dies there. So discipline and stuff like that, we absolutely have to have that in business. Otherwise, it will fail.
You sound like a bunch of ladies after my own heart. Really put in the most important elements out there for people to understand, because a lot of people have some very difficult relationships with money, and I saw that on your flyer. Tell us a little bit more about that in terms of how people approach money, business as it relates to success and or failure.
From my experience, based on conditioning, sometimes you may grow up in an environment where you see your grandmothers struggle or grandparents struggle, and you might have seen bad spending habits and behaviors, and families constantly having arguments about money. And the thing is that when you grow up in an environment like that, that becomes your norm. And then you begin to take on the nature of that environment. You grow up and you don't have the tools or the know-how, essentially. Sometimes it's just something as simple as knowing the know-how and having the information to make a better decision about the things you do. And you say, well, I'm going to try this. If it works, it works. If it don't work, it don't work. That's not the attitude that you want going into it. The next thing is sometimes we see, sometimes depending on the environment that you grow in, if my neighbor has this, I need to have this. And that may not always be so for you too. What we want to urge people to do is to get into something that is their passion. If you're passionate about it, you will push and you will push. And in the days that things are hard, even without money, you will do it. We don't want people just following patterns or just because of money. that they go into business, but that this is something that you're passionate about and you know for sure that the Lord has called you in this area to be an impact, and that wherever your passion is and wherever your purpose is essentially where you will shine and where you will blossom. And as long as people understand that, they essentially will stop trying to be square pegs in round holes, as we would say in Barbados, but they will want what fits them and their gifts. The Lord said, your gift shall make provision for you and bring you before great men. I think if we understand that about what God has given us, that we would not be jealous of what somebody else has, but we would own it and nurture what it is that God has given us to put out.
I like that. Because it speaks directly into my next questions about getting your message out there in terms of marketing. How do I market my product or service? Anybody want to take that question on?
Well, since that's not any of our areas of expertise, but I guess we can try to. I always think the best marketing tool you can ever have is word of mouth. And once you have a business where you are passionate, where you are treating your customers well, where you are professional, where you show integrity, then customers will come. They will spend with you. And once they've spent with you and they've had a good experience, then they will tell others. Now, obviously, there are other medium of vehicles to which to market, but I always believe that word of mouth is the best marketing tool you can ever have.
Well, I'll piggyback.
That goes back to what Daidre said about it being a passion.
Right.
Because if you have a passion for it, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it well. You're going to want to go beyond the call of duty in order to make your customers happy. That in itself will create the best marketing tool you can ever want. So from, speaking as a, person that really doesn't know a whole lot about marketing, but I think it's really important, though, that you see your business as something. It's an extension of who you are. So therefore, if your goal is not just to make Daidre, but to perform, to serve, then money will come, customers will come, your business will explode. It will. Over time, with patience, with commitment and dedication to your customers, to your business, to yourself, and to, as Daidre said again, to the legacy that you're building. Once you stay committed to that, I am sure, I can guarantee that your business will grow.
Just to add a little to what Dawn has said about marketing, I think it's important too that you understand who your target market is. We are in the age of social media and Twitter and stuff like that, but you may be off business that your demographic is a little older. You still have to be mindful of those things. Who am I targeting? They might still be the ones that go in the supermarket and see who has zero interest in social media. So you still have to be mindful of, you market something and you're selling a product. Who is it that I am trying to attract? And choose a tool that best fits them.
Who am I selling to? It's a really good, very important point. And at the end of this conversation, in terms of the pieces that you're putting together in this workshop, the heart of customer service. I know that's one of Dawn's specialty.
Yes, that's my specialty because that's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah.
So this event, the investment is pretty nominal, $50. Light refreshments will be served, and you can contact Dawn Lovell at 236-0997. What's the email, Dawn?
The email is dcelestial4040@gmail.com.
And Daidre Leacock at 519836. What's your email, Daidre?
My email is daidreleacock@gmail.com.
Where can people go in terms of to log on and pay, or what's the investment procedure? How can they invest and in coming to this event?
What we're encouraging persons to do is actually pre-register. There is a link on the flyer, and once person accesses the link, they can go on, fill in their information, your email address, telephone number, contact information, And once we have that, once you come on the day, you can go ahead and pay your $50, or you can contact us. We can come by, we can pick it up. That's fine. But on that day, then we're trying to do minimal registrations there. So you just come, bring your $50, we give you your receipt, and you go on right in. We're trying to make that process as smooth as possible. So we do encourage people to pre-register. The link is https://oo.gl/xqhzzr. So once you type that in your browser, it gives you straight to you'll see the form come up, and you just a few questions we ask you, about, what you hope to gain from coming to the conference, your name, your email address, and then you just submit your form, and it comes right into our inbox.
Okay, sounds good. You can repeat that registration address again.
Sure. The link is https://GOOGL/XQHZZR.
Okay. Any final comments?
We encourage people to come out, business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are looking to go into business, people who have an idea but not yet sure how to start and don't want to make some early mistakes but want to be equipped to essentially go into business and go into a business with a vine. We do encourage you to come out, hear God's heart for money as well, for money, for marketing, for customer service, and really hope we can effectively in the kingdom and just make our mark in this season. I think this is the season for us, the church and the kingdom, really to stand up and be set apart in terms of the standard that is required for business, and so that others can follow.
All right.
Sorry, I totally agree with Daidre there. I'm going to encourage people really to come on out. It's a great package. The fee is nominal. So, they're getting lots of great information for a very small fee. And I think, as Daidre said, it will keep persons from, stumbling over some of those those stumbling blocks that they encounter early on in business. It's going to equip them with some basic knowledge that they need to get started, or if they've already started, they may have had some challenges, and I think this will help them greatly in getting their business to the next level.
Awesomeness. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight right here on our podcast, caribvoiceradio.org, the entertainment station. This will be on our podcast section and on our homepage, and will be attached to, so you'll be able to click and link and keep us on the lock. We'll be right back.
Voice Radio. Believe it.